Hi, I'm Escuril. Today I'm going to discuss about methods of voting. First, let's discuss about majority rules. As you can see in the table, the total votes total to 20. In majority rules, the candidate which receives the majority or more than 50% of first place votes wins the election. Therefore, the candidate shall get more than 10 votes, 20 divided by 2, in order to win the election. A got 12 votes, B got 3 votes, and C got 5 votes. Therefore, we can say that A wins the majority rules because she got more than 10 votes, which is more than 50% of the total votes. Now, let's discuss about plurality method. In this method, the player who has the most majority first place votes win. We will look at the first row because this is where we can see the first place votes. As you can see in the table, A has 12 votes because 10 plus 2, and B has 3 votes, and C has 5 votes. A wins because he got the most first place votes, which is 12. Now, let's discuss about the Condorcet method. I will show you how to do Condorcet method using this table. First, we will do a head-to-head competition between the 4 candidates. Whoever wins the first round will compete with the remaining candidates, and the one who loses will be eliminated. For the first round, A and B will compete with each other. Whoever comes first will get the points. So for the first column, A will get 15 points because it came first before the letter B. For the next column, B will get the 11 points because it came first before the letter A. Then A would get the 8 points for the next round. A would get the 5 points. And lastly, for the last column, B would get the 2 points because it came first before A. In order to execute the Condorcet method easily, we can use a T account to input all of their points. Therefore, we can sum up their points easily, which will result to their total points. Through this, we can determine which player will compete with the others for the second round. It would look like this. As you can see, A got 28 points and B got 13 points. Therefore, A is the winner for the first round. Now, A would compete with C for the next round, and we will just repeat the steps. The T account should look like this. Therefore, we can say that A is still the winner for the second round, obtaining a total of 22 points, while player C got a total of 19 points. For the last round, the T account should look like this. Now we can say that A is the winner for all rounds using the Condorcet method. Now let's move on to the next, which is the board account method. In this method of voting, each option receives points based on its rank, and the option with the most points wins. For instance, if there are 4 options, the first ranked option would receive 3 points, the second ranked option would receive 2 points, and so on. In order to get the points that will be distributed to the options, we're going to use the formula n-1, where n is the number of options, so it would look like this. Now that we have distributed the points, now we're going to multiply the points above with the number of votes with their corresponding points. So for the first column, it would be 5 times 1 times 2. So C would get 10. L would get 10 points too because 5 times 2 times 1. Then K would get 0 because 5 times 3 times 0. Now we will just repeat the process to the remaining columns. It should look like this. In order to get the total points for each player, we will just add all of their respective points. As you can see, L won using the board account method because he got 39 points overall, which is the biggest points among all 4. Next is the sequential pairwise voting, also known as pairwise comparison or the Kemeny-Young method. Now I'm going to teach you how to do this type of voting method. In this type of voting method, we will follow an agenda. Here is the table. So as you can see, the agenda is B, C, D, A. So for the first round, B and C will play first. As I have mentioned in the previous video, we can use a T account so that it would be easier for us to compute their total scores. So for B versus C, the T account would look like this. So as you can see, B is the winner for the first round, obtaining a total of 15 points. Now that B won, he will now compete with D, following the given agenda. The T account for B versus D should look like this. In this round, B is still the winner, obtaining a total of 12 points compared to D, who only got 8 points. For the third round, B and A will compete. The T account should look like this. For this round, A won, obtaining a total of 17 points, while B got 3 points. So this proves that even though B is the winner for the first 3 rounds, any of the players can still win at the end. Now let's move on to the next, which is the hair system. Did you know that hair system is also known as the single transferable vote? Now, to understand this further, I'm going to show you how to do it. To execute this method, we will first compute their first place votes. A would get 15 votes, B would get 8, C would get 4, and D would get 6. Since he got 4, we will eliminate him already. So the table should look like this. This is the new table without C. Now we will compute their total votes again. A would get 15, B would get 12, and D would get 6. D has the least votes, so we will now eliminate him. It should look like this. Now A and B are the only 2 left, so we will now compute their total first place votes again. A would get 21 votes and B would get 12 votes. Therefore, A is the winner using the hair system. Next is the approval voting. As you can see in this table, it already summarizes the results of an approval vote among A, B, C, and D. Each column shows the number of people with a certain approval vote. The approvals are marked with an X. So now, let's find the winner under the approval voting method. So if we start with candidate A, notice how candidate A was approved by 10 plus 6 plus 5 or 21 voters. Looking at candidate B was approved by 8 plus 4 or 12 voters. Candidate C was approved by 10 plus 6 plus 4 or 20 voters. And finally, candidate D was approved by 8 plus 5 or 13 voters. And because candidate A received the most approval, candidate A wins.